up, you guys? I just woke up, so I probably look really tired. I mean, I always look really tired, and I am really tired. But anyways, so new video today. Make sure to like and subscribe. And this new video today is going to be about Packers. So I know I talked briefly about Packers the videos before, but I wanted to go into a little bit more detail about Packers and what they are and the ones that I used and where to buy them, and I don't know, I'm just gonna talk. Okay, so Packers. So if you guys don't know what Packers are, Packers, I feel like when people say like Packers and like they're not a part of the LGBTQ community or the trans community, I feel like people think like you're talking about a gun. That's not true. A Packer is not a gun. It is a silicone. And I think there's other, I feel like there's another material that they make them out of. But anyways, yeah, it's a silicone prosthetic penis, basically. Like it functions, or it, oh my gosh, I can't even, I'm too tired for this shit, guys. So it's a prosthetic penis that basically trans people can use if they want to, or if they have really bad bottom dysphoria, or if they just want to pass. Sometimes people don't necessarily have like really bad bottom dysphoria, but they feel like, oh my god, if I go out in public and let's say like you're working out and you go to the gym and you're wearing, I don't know, shorts or maybe tighter pants, where with like a bio male, obviously there would be a bulge, for the most part. And so some people are like, they're concerned about people like seeing if they don't have a bulge and then putting two and two together. Now, let me be completely honest with that. I would say that people are not paying as much attention as you think they are. And I think that's a lot of, like, at least for me in the past, that's how I always thought. Like, I thought people were always paying attention to whatever I was paying attention to. So if I had anxiety about, my bottom or my chest or whatever, I always thought that everybody else was seeing those things in like almost like amplified way, because I was so focused on them, which in reality is just not true. Like the things that we're anxious about, other people are not even like paying attention to at all until you yourself draw attention to it, which is an interesting thing. So a lot of people are not necessarily like looking at your crotch or seeing if you have a bulge or not, but on the other end, it does help people sometimes feel just more comfortable and alleviates dysphoria. So yeah, it's basically a silicone prosthetic that people place either in their underwear, or there's special underwear that's made for packing, that has like a hole in the front and a place to put the ball, so it's all in place. There is harnesses, like I talked about before, which I personally, they're great. Like it's a great thing that exists. But the problem with harnesses, at least for me, was the fact that like it always felt like I was wearing like I don't know, like something just like on my body that always just felt like out of place. Like because the harnesses that I had like were like, they sat like under my butt and they like rode up on my hips, and then they would strap around like my waist. So it was just like a lot of like straps, and I feel like fabric that felt just like in the way all the time and unnatural. And also like those straps are really big, so it's like when you bend over and stuff, like I feel like people can see those lines and they're like, what the fuck is that? So that's just my thing. But again, harnesses are great. I think they're a great invention. And harnesses. What about so harnesses hold the packer in place. There are packers that have like special adhesive on this like back flap that you can like adhere directly to your skin, which is super cool. So then you don't even have to deal with the harnesses at all. It's just adhered to your skin. The fallback on that is obviously like it's adhered to your skin. So if you want to like take it off, like it's not, you can't just like take it off. It's like I mean, it's not like glued on there forever, but it's not, you can't just remove it. And also I feel like sometimes it might fall. Like that's always my biggest fear is like, oh my God, what if my packer just fell out on the floor in Fred Meyer's or something? So that's why it's good to have like good underwear that keeps everything in place. So if something does happen with the packer or the harness, your underwear is there to catch it, and it's all good. So what else about packers? Oh yeah, I guess just like sizing and stuff. Obviously there are a lot more sizes now. I feel like back then there were like only 3 sizes. It was like 3-inch, 5-inch, and like 8-inch, which doesn't really give you that much options. Like for me, because I'm like a shorter person, I went with the 5 because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. Like oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed, but like it is true. Like I definitely went for the bigger prosthetic because I was like, yep, that's what we're gonna do. But it actually ended up being too big, and like it just looked like I was walking around with a boner all the time, and that's not okay. So I got rid of that one and ended up going with the 3-inch, which is a lot smaller, but a lot less like visible and like doing the most. However, it was almost like too small. So I feel like they have more sizes now that are like, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instead of just like skipping a whole bunch of numbers. And also the design of it is better. So like a bigger size is not necessarily gonna look huge in your pants anymore, because like in the past the balls were like so big or so like just in the way that it would be like this and then like this. I don't know, it's just like the way that the packer hangs doesn't hang atomically correct to the way that a bio-male's does, if that makes sense. And so they would just look like out of place, if that makes sense. So yeah, currently I don't use a packer for the most part. I do sometimes, just because like I have gone through this period where I've been trying to like take on this mindset of like, okay, I don't even know how to explain this. I just feel like in the past, a lot of my issues with myself, but also with like people I was in a relationship with or people that were around me, the amount of anxiety and just like anger that I had, I felt like was due just to a lot of being uncomfortable in my body. And so for me, the way to challenge that is almost to just go into it. Like, okay, if you're so uncomfortable with this and this is the, you know, the main cause of your issues, and this is just me, this is not something that I suggest people do at all. I just kind of cut myself cold turkey on everything because I was like, I know like in this lifetime, nothing is going to be perfect. Like that's just what it is. And I started to realize that like, even with all the surgeries, even if I could get everything that I wanted, I still think that I would not be necessarily fully happy. And so coming to that realization helped me to realize, okay, I need to become happy with myself as I am. And so I kind of just like got rid of everything. Like I got rid of my packers, I got rid of not all my prosthetics, because I do use a prosthetic during sex, but I'm sorry guys, I'm dying. But yeah, I just got rid of all the harnesses and the packers because I was just like, I'm just gonna go like straight into this and just like do it and get comfortable with myself as I am, and then kind of like slowly introduce things back in. Anyways, so that's pretty much about packers. Like I said in the last video, I used Mr. Limpy when I first started, and I got better packers after that, but honestly the one that has worked the best has been Mr. Limpy. I feel like there are packers that I would like to try out, but they tend to be a little bit more expensive. They're like expensive. Like some of them are like really expensive. They're not just like $20. So my thing is like, I think as things get better and like technology and the design and all that stuff gets better, I feel like there's just gonna be packers that look more and more realistic, which there already are now, but even more so in the future. But yeah, and then so that's pretty much it about Packers. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I need to talk about. This is the most awkward video ever. But honestly, I feel like when we just like talk like this, it's just like real instead of just like coming up with this like presentation. There's like no mistakes and stuff. So I think that's pretty much it. I will link the links below for the Packers. And yeah, just to kind of sum everything up, because I feel like I was just rambling. Packers are basically for people, for anybody. You know, whoever wants to use them. I'm not gonna say who gets to use them or not. But anybody who wants to use a Packer, you know, it's just basically something to put in your pants that resembles a bulge. And that's it. So, you know, there's a lot of people that choose to use them. There's a lot of people that don't use them. There's people that use them sometimes. There's people that don't use them in certain situations and not in others. It really depends on the person and like what works for them and what makes them feel comfortable. And yeah, all right guys, peace.